I mean, Americans are the leaders of electromagnetic warfare and have always been and always will. I remember I was a young student in 1957 in a high school in the States with American Field Service exchange program, and at that time, 57, the first cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin went up, and that was a shockwave in the U.S. because officially the U.S. had not been to space, and now it became official, and then they speeded up the space program. But as far as I know, on the moon they have had Nazi swastikas and buildings and bridges, etc., since at least 47 by Germans. Why would they have a swastika there? You know, the German sign, the Nazi sign. So the truth about space exploration is totally covered from the general population. We really don't know. George W. Bush even said that Apollo flights were stopped, trips to the moon in 72, and next time we're trying 2020. Now that's a big lie again, because I heard from a German astronaut that they are flying twice a week to the moon. So why are we given and fed all this disinformation? Because it changes everything. It changes everything. I asked the NATO European chief George Jaulan when he was visiting Finland, and there was a meeting at the University of Helsinki. He gave a lecture. So I asked him that, referring to the NATO own report from 1964, what is the situation today? Is he or NATO willing to give more information about UFO question to the general public, or at least to scientists? Because in that NATO report from 64, it said that the reason why UFO is suppressed and the contacts with extraterrestrials, the reason is, number one, can you imagine? Theology. All the religious dogma will fall down. Human ego will fall down. You know, we think we're the biggest, brightest, whatever. We are like lizards, actually. Then also our laws of physics have to be changed. Of course, the speed of light is nothing in the universe, and our social systems have to be changed. Economy has to be changed. So it's huge changes. So I asked him, is he going to give more information? You should have seen his face. I mean, he was like this, and he said, UFOs, if they exist. No, he has no such plans and does not know of any of such plans. So then I was there asking, or actually the colonel sitting next to me from Canada was turned to me and said, can I have your name and address so the general could answer me personally? No, that wasn't the reason. The reason was, why would I know these things? But I have found them out in conferences from people who are in, so they give information. So I gave my card, you read it, Star Sisters International. I just left, and then my harassment started, really started. Stealing documents from congresses, doing things, my house has been robbed over 300 times now, and they don't take the valuables. They take all Congress reports. They take taxing papers, bank papers, insurance papers, documents. They cut your clothes. They steal your best clothes. They do all kinds of harassment. It's sort of petty theft, not the valuables. They can take your silver, forks and knives or whatever. They don't touch the gold, whatever. It is the Secret Service is doing this, trying to suppress, trying to, put down. I have been poisoned, officially taken to the hospital with poisoning. It happens with the air ducts and with the water pipes. They put poisons into that, and you become unconscious, you start vomiting, you become sick, and then they beam you with microwaves at nights, and you become sick. I'm in the torture programming, I suppose, not in the death programming yet, at least. But I do know that I'm going to die out of heart circulation disease whenever they feel fit. Yeah. But it doesn't happen yet, because my time is not out. I just know it. Yeah. And how do I know? I just know it. Because when you're born into the physical body, your whole life is accepted by you, by your soul, of course, with all the big poles in your life, your education, your mission, your family, whatever, until your death, even the way you die. Otherwise, clairvoyance could not tell what is happening to you. You know, you're like a computer programming. And I had Robin Stevens, now he's deceased from this earth, a British man who came to Rovaniemi when I was in office and wanted to meet me, and we had a cup of tea and discussions. And he said to me, shall I give you a reading? And I didn't know what reading was. That was in the beginning of 80. And he meant, I will tell you your future. And I just said, go ahead, you know, what do I care? And then I was, you know, getting sort of frozen when he starts. First he says, I warn you for a big car accident. I said, I've crushed 8 cars already. No, but this will change your life. Oh yeah? Then he said, you're going to be an international bestseller author. I said, hey, I'm a doctor. I wrote, you know, no books. Then he said, I see you in Central Europe. I said, I'll never leave Lapland. And then he said, you're going to die in a warm country with white flat roofs of circulation or heart. And then he said, oh, your last phase of your life is more important than the first. And he used Shirley Temple as an example. Shirley Temple was a lovely little girl in the 40s, 50s, and later became an ambassador to Czechoslovakia, but nobody talked about her after that. So when I started going to Central Europe to these congresses now, and last year to the States, I thought, now things are coming out. I have to give the information. I just feel it. So when the computer programming goes and everything happened the way he did say, with car accidents and all this, and when my husband said, shall we buy a house in Spain? I said, not yet. White, you know, houses with flat roofs and warm climate. But I know that's going to happen someday. So what? There's no death. So there's nothing to be afraid of.